Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing this April the 15th, 2025. I think it's the 15th, 2025 daily cryptocurrency and XRP video on blockchain technology and news update. We got some interesting things to talk about. Ask you to bell notification, comment down below, like the channel, and share to get that education and truth that we're trying to change the reputation of social media insiders, influencers, in the mainstream, that it's just all about fleecing and heisting and cons and scams, right? We're bringing truth and information and most importantly, education back into the sphere. And that's why you need to be part of that movement and help us grow our influence on people that can hear us and get the message and the truth. This was Multiverse, a coin, if you from a Jabroni Killer member, getting that first mover advantage that we've been looking at. It's at an all-time low according to this chart. I don't know anything about this coin. He just wanted us to look at it, and it's trying to gather some support here at its all-time low. It's been trading roughly right about where it's at, right there at about 1659, and it's trying to get some support because if you could get some support anywhere in this coin, you could come back to a technical level, which is at the bottom part of this orange trading box at about $20. That's a technical level from the trading volume from this short but brief history of the coin right here. As you can see on this chart, when it came out, it traded, oops, it traded sideways for from September of 24 all the way to November, so of the fall time of last year, and then it broke out to the upside with the rest of the coins during the initial phases of Trump winning and hysteria that went on with that. But that's an area that's a technical level because it had some trading there, and you can see the trading volume that was there with the VP volume indicator. And these are simple tips and a little bit of education on how you can look at a chart. You put that fixed volume profile where it shows you from the time frame that you're using where all the trading took place, the gaps in trading, so it can help you know where accumulations were taking place. And that's why this is a technical level up here. So if we can get some support, like we've been getting for a few days here along the 1650 line, give or take a couple of dollars either way, we could try to bounce back into an area that has had trading after a big flush to all-time lows just now and trade within this box up here. So that's something we're going to be watching because if it breaks down to the downside, you're just in price discovery in the wrong way and it could go down to 10, 6, 13. Who knows where the next stack of buyers are below the current price because there's never been any trading down there. So that's what we're looking at in Multiverse. Matic is another one that people in the Jabroni Killers members, and you can join that for $3.99 a month in the video description and or the pinned comment. We had a prediction of a new all-time low, and you're like, oh wow, great prediction. No, 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 no. Go back to the videos from when we started and this coin came out and we were up here. That's when we put that prediction out when we were in this phase, right in here. We told you that we were going into a bear market and this coin was going to fleece, heist, and shiest a lot of people as we were predicting new all-time lows just below the old all-time low, which was the bottom part of this orange trading box. And our price target was for a 40% capitulation below that, right? And we're almost there now. So if we keep falling to where our prediction was, it would come down to 0.17%. Then what you would have to look at is since we are at new all-time lows, just like the last coin that we looked at, can you get back into a major trading area, which is up here that starts at 29 cents, right? Because you could flush straight down here to the next target, but at some point, this is a falling wedge, right? They're bearish continuation patterns, but they're bullish reversal patterns uh, when they break out and finally exhaust their downward spiral. And the technical target in a falling wedge would be where the wedge started, which conveniently enough, and it aligns with the bottom part of that orange trading area right there at 29 cents. So that's an area on the next, when this is finally done collapsing on a quick rebound say it happened from here to get back into a technical traded range from the current price are these red little dots. That's a 36% move to just get back into a technical traded area where it would go on a bounce back because this coin's not just going to continue to go down every day. It'll have some quick rebounds along the way, kind of like you've seen right here when you hit a technical level at the bottom part of this orange trading area. When you were coming in through it, it acted as brief support, and you got a big pump to the purple area up there, which is another technical trading level, and you got rejected, but it did have a 152% rally within this massive bear market, right? And you can see every time, the first time you hit the technical level and bounce, the second time and third time in May of 23, you actually bounced on the top part of this, and it should have held as support because you were coming from above it, and it did act as support right there, and you bounced on it. Then you had a big run up, and the next time you came down to it, you broke down and traded all the way down to the bottom part of it, of what should be support at the bottom, and it did. And then you had that ferocious rally that we just talked about, right? And you bounce back up into that critical purple trading area and got rejected by it as you should because you're coming from below it. And then you came all the way back down, had some brief support at the 51 cent, which is the should act as support coming down into it, and it did until you broke down, came to a double bottom at the bottom part of this orange trading area at 29 cents, and then you traded on it for a few days, and then you broke through it and created this new all-time low. So that's what we're looking at in Matic. Coreum, we had some talked about, and we had this technical target down here as retesting the all-time low. And you can see we haven't talked about Coreum in a while, but Coreum was up there, I believe. Uh, where was Coreum at? I want to say it was up there around 20 cents when our subscribers started. No, it was back here because we had this pattern here. I think they brought it to us in late January because it was having a nice run, and we started seeing it was going to break down, and we had it coming down to 10 cents, and we wicked down as close as far as 11 cents pretty much on the spot. And I still think this 10 cents is going to get hit, and then after this dramatic decline you could have some kind of a bounce back, right, where you come down to near to tying the all-time low, and I could see some kind of return rally like that after. So there should be some kind of return rally here uh, in the next couple of months in Quorum after it's been beaten down to all-time lows. That's something that we'll watch. This was another one, Xeon, that got brought to me when it had that massive pump, and I told you there would be better buying opportunities after this thing pumped. And depending on what your beliefs were, if you bought here waiting for a pump, that was your pump to make quick money because this thing, in the matter of a few weeks, pumped up 17 times itself, right? And then we drew this head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern. We'll put this in the 4 hour time frame so you can see it better. Put that head and shoulders and said that we had an initial price target of 0.01, and you can see it came down to that as it's been an orderly decline. There's been big declines within it, but it's been a steady, orderly deflation of that massive 17x pump. And it looks like it's going to come down now next to the bottom part of this purple trading zone at 0.0081. But that's just something that we talk about here, that there are always better buying opportunities when we're talking about a massive pump like what started on the 14th of January and then peaked out on the 17th, then consolidated, and then had its blow off top, peaking on the 26th of January. We were saying there would be better buying opportunities if you never bought this coin to not FOMO and play any motions. And right now, a few short months later, it's 76.29% lower than it was at its blow off top peak. There's your better buying opportunity. Not telling you to buy this coin, but just to show you what we're talking about. If you never bought this coin and you only heard this coin because it was pumping and you were FOMOing and thinking you were going to miss out after it had a 17x move, which is crazy, in a couple of weeks, about 2.5 weeks, it's going to come down after that. It can't keep going straight up. And already by just having that philosophy, if you still wanted to buy the coin, you could buy it for 73 or 75% cheaper than it was just 2 months ago during the blow off top. right? And you could have saved yourself a better buying opportunity. Of course, it's still 400% up from pre-pump. You're still buying it only 400% or 74% from the top versus 17 times that, or 12 times higher than the price you're buying it at now. That's what we're talking about, and not playing with your emotions when you're seeing a pump happen. If you've never bought the coin and you were just trying not to miss out, those are when you get burned. There will always be a better buying opportunity, and XCN is a prime example of what we're talking about there. That's why I wanted to show you that. I think that's very important. The same as XRP. We've been telling you we were in this head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern. We were saying the same thing with this. We don't promote buying after a massive pump. So if you never bought XRP before this pump started and got to get out of there and got to this phase, oops, let's zoom in, a little bit sloppy tonight. Got to this phase right here. If you never bought XRP and then were FOMOing and you bought your first coin here, that's already starting to buy into the FOMO. But then if you bought a little bit there or haven't bought any, and then it made its first blow off top up here at $2 and change or a 4-year high, and you started FOMOing in, there's always a better buying opportunity, right? It had a nice consolidation real quick from that day over the next several weeks and went down 30%. So you could have had a better buying opportunity there. But the pump wasn't over. The max hysteria from the mainstream, where the people that haven't been involved with it, haven't bought it, or haven't cared, seen it up there at $3.40 and then started wanting to FOMO. And I started getting phone calls from friends and family members, younger ones, saying, I've never heard about this. I'm hearing about it at work. Should I buy it? And I gave them the same advice that I always say here when it was up there after it blew off and it was at the end phase of the head. I said, it's had a massive rally. It's up about 8 times what it was in the last 2.5 months. I think now is the wrong time because there will be a better buying opportunity because this is after a massive pump. And already that is paying true because it's down 31.39% from its high, and it's still about 10% below what it was after that blow off phase, right? So already the masses that were wanted to FOMO in here, I was saying do not do that. Better buying opportunity. And even now, it's a better buying at 340 back then. It's sitting at 234 now. And as recently as the last few weeks, you could have bought it as cheap for a few days as $1.95 and another day for as cheap as about $2, right? That gave you more than just a wick, gave you a couple of days to buy it down there, right? So 340 versus $1.95 already better buying opportunity, right? So don't buy in on the FOMO pump or a short-term pump. Like this was a short-term pump. It went up 40% from a Friday to a Sunday morning on that news manipulation. And my advice there was, I think this is just the right shoulder getting built on an orchestrated news criminal gangster dump to manipulate you on an early Sunday morning, and there would be better buying opportunities. And from that point on the quick pump, within 2 days, 3 days, it went down 37% and was below what it was before that pump started. That's what we're talking about better buying opportunities here on Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing. And we just had this next pump that we talked about, we were thinking would happen, and it started to get rejected in the area that we thought we would get rejected at the 50-day moving average in the daily and just south the $2.55 level. And it did. And now we think it's probably going to could come back up here, but eventually it's going to end back at the neckline again for another hit. And as we work our way through the next several weeks to a month, I think one of these times we're going to break that neckline, hit the 200-day and breach that and meet our targeted move on a wick down, and the wick could look something like this, where you have a 25% wick that's only down there for a few minutes and then gets bought back up. I think we will fulfill that targeted move. And I think that will more than likely coincide with news that the $127 million SEC fine with Ripple has been resolved and that will coincide with a technical breakdown, and that'll start in my theory the next move in this bull run where we're going to come and rebound from that wick technical target and have a quick rebound over a month or two or three and come all the way back up into that $3 maybe even breaching the old high from the last cycle uh that's really culminated from the November 4th US election through mid-January when we had that blow off top. I think we could be looking at something like that for the summertime and towards the end of the year, where we have a massive rally from about the $1.29 level all the way back up to at least the old high or close to it between $3 and $3.40. And that would be a prime example of better buying opportunity from blow off top to 62% down to another massive rally back up there just because you had patience if you were somebody that never bought the coin and only heard about it, even if you had heard the coin and watched it and followed it, but never bought it, and then now you finally wanted to buy it at a third blow off top. That's my advice there. And that's what I'm theorizing and setting up and reading the tea leaves for what could be coming up for mid and late, the mid part and the late part of 2025. As things are starting to happen fast, the same thing is better buying opportunities here on XLM. We telegraphed this when it got to 63 cents, and then we dipped down and then started to stagnate with the volume, started falling and coincided with the price. Right in here where I'm circling, we got short to medium term bearish, and we said there would be better buying opportunities. And at current price, it's 57% below its blow off peak at 63 cents, and we're sitting at 25 and a half cents. Yes, it started this pump from about the 10-cent level, but buying it if you've never bought it at 25 cents is better than 65 cents because 25 cents is a lot closer to 10 cents than 63 cents is to 10 cents, right? So if you didn't buy it down there, you don't buy it up there. There's always a better buying opportunity, and this price has had a steady and orderly decline since the grayscale filing news that promoted the final stage of that bull market where it went up greater than 100% in the matter of a few hours. I still think this has more downside pressure. I think our next underneath target is going to be around 18 cents. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace and love, Jay.